Hey, Jim. Well, I'm back on the old Mercedes today. I don't have the parts yet for my struts, and then all of this stuff is all interior. I kind of want to fix the retractable hardtop so I can get better lighting on the interior when I want to start fixing all this other stuff. So let's go for the retractable hardtop today. The first step is to look up how it says you're supposed to do it in the owner's manual. That way I know I'm not making any mistakes. So the first thing it really mentions is the luggage cover needs to be closed. The trunk needs to be closed. Okay, that's inside the trunk. So let's go check and see if the luggage cover is closed. Okay, it is not closed. Okay. This is our luggage cover. Make sure it goes in both sides. Nice. Okay, luggage cover is closed. And trunk is closed. All right, so now opening the retractable hardtop with the switch. Before pulling the hardtop switch, let's see, parking brake engaged. Luggage cover we got, trunk we got, ignition switch in position 2. Okay, so parking brake and ignition switch. And that's it. Okay. Won't it be funny if it works just fine and they just weren't putting the parking brake on? Because the panel where the release is broken. See right here, the parking brake release is broken, so I can see why someone would not want to put the brake on. Let's try it. Okay. Parking brake is on. Key in number 2. And let's see. Okay, it says visit workshop. And the light is flashing. Okay. It doesn't work. Doggone it. Visit workshop. Well, we're in a workshop, right? Okay. Let's see what we got here. So I think if this was a problem, it would just say up on the dash that this needed to be closed. So I think these are fine. And then, oh, here we go. There we go. Okay, so this, I think this is supposed to be uptight here. And this one especially, oh yeah. So what has happened is, I think it's a relatively common fault where there's some sort of gear inside here, and when you stop the top mid, it causes it to bounce a little bit, and this piece isn't strong enough, and it will warp a little bit, and it will allow it to jump a tooth on the gear, which is what it looks like has happened here, because this should be up flat. My parts car had these, which I think are an aftermarket replacement, where you can see this would go like that, where the back part right here is a lot beefier on this loose one. So I think what I need to do is take these assemblies down, and because you got to go from the back side to get to where these screws are, and replace these on both sides with these stronger ones. How about that? I have decided to take off the one on the passenger side that we know is definitely messed up, and it looks like if I get this one and this one, and then there's another one right there, and I think it's just those three, and they look like they're probably 10s. They were 10 millimeter. And then I had to undo this plug right here that plugs into the side right there, and I was able to grab it by releasing the little clip on the inside. Next, I'm gonna take off, there are screws on the inside here that go to our piece. So I'm going to remove the 2 screws from the one on board here, and I don't know, see what needs to be done to get it back in the proper position and put the new one on. There's the gear on the flap thing, and it's got a little bit of wear, but not too bad. That's the position it's supposed to be in, and what had happened is it had jumped a couple of teeth, so it was actually dangling down in this position, and there's a sensor in here that we have unplugged that was telling the car that it's not ready to go because it's out of position. The other part of this, get better light. All right, this is our other piece, and you can see the gear inside, and it doesn't look too terrible, nothing broken off or anything. And it's because this housing allows this to warp just a little bit, and that's when our teeth skip. So we're gonna put this one on in its place. Didn't even have to loosen anything. I just grabbed it and was kind of feeling how tight things were. It started giving it a little wiggle, and whoop, whoop, there it came, right off like that. So super easy. Okay, I'll put on the new one, and we'll put her back together in the proper position. All right, I've just done the one on the passenger side. Let's see if that's enough. It looks like it still might have to tighten up one more tooth, but let's see. Yeah, it still says visit workshop. Doggone it. I just remembered I forgot to plug in that little sensor plug, so let me try again. Come on. Yeah, still the same. Here's exactly why they fail. This is the original one, and if you look closely, right where that little bump piece is there, that's where our round gear rides, and then there's a straight gear that slides up and down. And if you look carefully, it's not straight anymore. If I put it up to this straight edge, I can't hold it still very good, but you can see that it's curved quite a bit. And you can even kind of see where it's bent right about there. So it's slowly bent this way in use. And then we have our new one, which is much beefier. It weighs a lot more. You can see it is straight. Well, it's not really a new one. The one out of my parts car, but it's a much heavier duty piece. Hopefully I can figure out how to make it good. I've improved my lighting a little bit, and I've come back here and I loosened up my carpet a little bit so I'd have a little more play in this big cable that comes down. And then I couldn't get my new bracket to go flush right here. It was standing up just a tiny bit, so that tells me I wasn't getting my gears lined up. So once I got a little more room up here to jockey it around, I was able to suddenly get it to drop into position with my flap here as far that way as it will go. So that way when I mount it, it'll be tight up against here and not flopping around. So once I get this mounted back up in there, as long as it's tight against my carpet here, I'll do the other one, plug everything back in. Oh, and hope that does it. Okay, got her all buttoned up back there. Hopefully this time it's right. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh, I hear something. Oh! Oh, it's trying. There we go. Top in operation. Ah, Vario Roof open. Wow, how about them apples? Happy dance, happy dance. I did put some lubrication in the gears and the gear track, but that's about it. That's how you fix a Mercedes R230 retractable top that doesn't work, at least that has that problem. Because it's working. Yay! Thanks for watching.